Hello, and welcome to our ab series. We are going to get started on the mat today. You don't need anything else, so go ahead and get situated, put your hair up, and do what you need to do. We are going to get started today in a low plank, so let's go ahead and find that plank position, and we're going to hang out here for 45 seconds. So find your plank and let's get comfy because we're going to be here for 45 seconds. And then at the end of this 45 seconds, we are not going to go to the ground. We are going to come up to a high plank. And in that high plank, we are going to go into some shoulder taps. Now, when you go into these shoulder taps, I would recommend that you spread your feet out just a little bit farther. It'll provide you with more stability. And then also, make sure that you're spreading your palms out completely and planting them onto the ground in between these movements. So that way you're not, messing up anything funky in that upper body area. So we're going to go ahead and spread those toes apart and come up to that high plank for those shoulder taps now. And once again, we're going to be here for 45 seconds. And you don't have to be super duper fast. Just make sure that you're staying controlled. There will be some body movement. It's a little bit inevitable unless you're a literal beast, which in that term or in that sense, like go you. But just kind of try to keep it as still as possible. Okay. And when we get to the end of this plank, we're going to come to a child's pose instead of dropping onto the ground. That's my recommendation. If there's another stretch that you'd like, go for it, but just find intentional rest instead of unintentional rest. All right, drop those knees, come to that child's pose, and let's take a big breath in together and out. And when we come up, we're going to find a tabletop position. So we're going to go into some bird dogs. So for a tabletop, we're going to want to make sure that our shoulders are stacked with our wrists and our hips are stacked with our knees nicely. So that way we can find a straight back as well. And we're going to go into those bird dogs on whatever side you'd like to start with. And we're going to pull everything in and extend out to find our first one. So this is going to be 1, and we're going to go in and out for 5. So now we're going in and we're out for 2. And on 5, we're going to pulse it out for 5. We're on 3. And in and out for 4. And come in, and on this next one we're gonna extend out and pulse it out for 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring everything back in, and we're gonna find that on the other side and do the exact same thing just on the other side. So whenever you do this, I would highly recommend that you extend your feet and your arm across the room just a little bit farther every single time that you extend out, and hold it for just a second, as this will help you find that good stretch and intentional rest and like restorative movement in this motion. All right. And so on this next one, we're going to extend everything out and we're going to pulse for 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's bring that back in. And we're going to go back down into a low plank again for 45 seconds. So we're going to find that plank position down on our forearms within an 11 and step our toes back. And we're going to hang out here for 45. Here we go. And at the end of this 45-second plank, we're going to go back up to that high plank again. But this time, we're going to do toe taps in and out from the inside and the outside of your mat, alternating. So you'll do your left side out and in, your right side out and in. So staying here for the rest of this 45-second plank before we come up. Just remember to focus on your breath. Your breath will get you through this motion. through this whole workout, I promise. Here we go. Come up to that high plank, and we're stepping that right foot and the left and the right and the left. And if you need to go a little slower, or if you can go faster, you want to go faster, whatever pace that you choose to go, go for it. Just remember keeping those deep breaths. I'm going to take a breath with you this moment. And out. And in. And out. And when we get to the end of this one, we're going to come back to that child's pose position for a nice stretch and for a couple of breaths. Back down to those knees, down to that child's pose. Breathe in and out. And after this, I'm going to find a little up dog as well, just to stretch out those hips before we go into the other side of our exercises, which is going to be a lot more of our crunching in on that lower body. So I like to wiggle out my lower back here. And then we're going to flip over onto our backs, and we're going to find tabletop legs. And in this tabletop position, we're going to do in and outs for 30 seconds, and then we're going to do toe taps for 30 seconds. And then we'll take a small break. But we're going to stick those feet up into the air and find a tabletop position. And plant that spine down nicely, wiggle the butt out, do what you need to do. And if you want to come up, you're more than welcome to, and you can stick your hands up in the air, or you can keep your head down entirely, up to you. But we're going to get started with those in and outs. Here we go, in and out. And focus less on keeping your head up and how fast you're going, and more about keeping those motions in that nice, consistent side-by-side pace. And once again, at the end of this 30 seconds, we're not going to stop. We're just going to pause those legs side by side and go into those toe taps. So we're almost out of this movement. Here we go. We're going to extend the hands up to the sky, and we're going to toe tap side to side. And once again, you're more than welcome to keep your head down, but I personally find that for the toe taps, it's easier for me to pay attention to what I am doing when I have my hands in the air. And when we get to the end of this motion, we will bring our hands to our chest for a little breath and a stretch before we repeat this one more time. So let's breathe in and out. Shake your booty, wiggle out that lower body. And we're going to do this one more time, and then that'll be the end of our workout. So we're going to find those feet into a tabletop position, and we're going to go into those in and outs for 30 seconds. Here we go, in and out. And this is something that I like to do, where I stick my hands behind my head just to, give myself a little bit of cushion. But the one thing that I will say here is do not tug on your neck. If you're just kind of resting, that's okay, but don't be tugging on the back of your neck, as that's going to cause a strain on your neck. And then at the end of this 30 seconds, we're going to extend our hands into the sky, and we're going to go into those toe taps. Here we go, tapping side to side, and we're here for 30 more seconds. So just find your breath, stay with it, and we'll be at the end of our workout, and you'll feel so accomplished. I know I already feel so accomplished. I'm right here with you. I feel accomplished, and I haven't even completed the end of this moment. You're just so badass watching this. Okay, anywho. All right, we're almost out of this, and we'll bring those knees to the chest for a big breath in and out. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, as I would love that so very much. And also subscribe, so that way you can join my community, and we can work out together consistently, and we can be friends, and we can just have so much fun together. All right, anywho, I hope you have a wonderful day as I'm going to do the same, and I will see you later. Okay, bye.